hear them on the radio, buy gold. And we even have television shows about mining gold, pulling it out of the ground, several of those. Well, the question, where does gold lie in your investment picture? And here to help answer that question, John Kuykendall from GulfCoast Financial Services, here with us, founder and CEO. Now, GulfCoast Financial Services named best of the best in financial services 9 straight years and running by the readers of the Lake City Reporter. So, John, we always appreciate your time, input on all and any financial questions and issues. So this is a big one because I think people are hearing a lot of conversation about gold and maybe not certain of whether or not this is an appropriate thing for them in their situation, or whether to dive in or ignore it altogether. So where is an appropriate place for gold in our portfolio, and why do we hear so much about it, John?
Well, we're hearing a lot about it because of inflation, Peter. People think that gold is an inflation hedge. And so that's one of the reasons. The second reason is a lot of people are concerned about the economy and where we're going as a country. And they think if they have gold, that they're going to be able to take that gold and barter for goods and other stuff. I think it happens anytime that we have, economy such as we have now. I don't think that people understand that, you don't want to go out and buy coins or bullion, because how am I going to dispose of it? I mean, it's a market that I've got to depend on someone else to help me sell it.
They're not spendable in that form, right?
No, they're not spendable. I mean, there's nothing I can do now. It's a popular thing, people tout it, the gold exchange and the diamond exchange. They're certainly talking about it all the time, pumping it up. It's kind of like cannabis stock,
Yeah, and by the way, not a recommendation for any particular mutual fund or ETF or stock, but they are out there and available, and we hear a lot about them. So it is a discussion about the options, about the different ways that you could potentially consider this question of owning any gold. Now, John, I have been in the radio industry since the early 2000s. Since before 9/11, I have been hearing the same kind of commercials on the radio for buy gold now, to protect your assets, to protect your 401k, to protect your IRA. I guess a couple different questions there is, one, I do hear them specifically mention a lot to do this in your retirement account. To me, that seems a little like the gray area, because the government sure wants to know exactly what's in your retirement account so that they know that they have collected their duly owed fair share of taxes, right? And wouldn't owning physical gold inside of an IRA, John, then become a little muddy in the water? Not that we ever want to muddy the water with the IRS.
Well, Peter, if we did that, we would have to open up a self-directed IRA that would handle the purchase of this bullion or physical asset. And then there would be cost of storing it, the cost of inventorying it. How do you know that it's actually there? How do you know that, that's my gold, not your gold? I mean, it gets it gets a little bit muddy thinking about all of that. When, actually, I don't think owning the coins is really a question that we should even think about. I had a lady come in the other day, her husband passed away, and she had $200,000 worth of silver.
Wow.
Now, physical silver, it cost us almost $500 to ship it. It cost her $500 to ship it. We found somebody who said they would buy it. She negotiated with the person. We didn't do that for her, but we gave her the name. And she shipped it to them and got paid. But the thing about it was, it took this lady 6 months to get the coins to where she could ship them, find out how we were going to ship them, get, UPS and to ship them. and then to get paid. And during that time, if she'd needed the money, she wouldn't have had it.
And she didn't get spot price either, right? When you buy it, you pay a commission where you pay above spot price generally. And when you go
Yeah.
to sell it, there's a discount and you're not getting full spot price. And
Well,
again, if the day ever comes that we do actually want to spend that money, we've got to turn them back into dollars. Now, the premise behind all of the marketing and advertising, John, and I get it that there is a seed of truth here, especially with the inflation that we have seen. But the premise behind the commercials is the dollar is going to devalue or maybe even collapse, and that gold or silver is going to be the safe haven. Now, my question has always been, well, if the people who are paying tens of millions of dollars a month in marketing and advertising for big name celebrities to tout on these commercials, if they were truly convinced that the dollar was going to collapse or even lose value and that gold or silver was going to be the safe haven protection against it, why, oh, why in the world are they willing to send me their gold and take my dollars? And it's
yeah,
because
I
of the
mean, why don't
commission
they
being
keep it?
paid, right? Yeah, why don't they?
Why don't they just keep it? I mean, if they're that concerned about the economy collapsing, you would think they would be hoarding the gold because it'll be worth more in the future than it is now. But the thing is that there's a lot of talk about China trying to take over for the dollar, and so the dollar would be devalued, not a world currency anymore. And certainly, that's true. You read about that, but the thing is that I can't get enough gold physically in my hands to really tide me over for the rest of rest of my life if I don't have dollars.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a mute point to do this, doomsday, last days effect here that we're talking about. It's either an investment that we can use and that it'll grow, or it's something that we don't really need to have a lot in our portfolio.
Yeah.
And I take the latter. I bought, I told you this story before, back in the 80s when prime was 20%, 25%. I bought 3 Cougarans. I paid $700 a piece for the Cougarans. And, that was what was touted. Everybody said, buy Cougarans so that you will be able to at least buy groceries. And so, I could only afford 3. Those Cougarans today were worth, I think we finally sold them for like $8,000 for the 3. But Peter, that was 46 years that I held the Cougarans to get the edition. I mean, that's not that much of a return.
Yeah. Gold is more of a store of value, not a growth of value over time,
Yeah,
right, John? Is that like it's been
right.
used since antiquity, since Roman times, about the same amount of gold, buys about the same amount of stuff as it does today. Sure,
Yeah.
there's some ups and downs and fluctuations, but all the money for all those ads and all that marketing has to come from somewhere, and that is on the people who buy it. That being said, John, I like gold. I like having some. I was handed down
Yeah.
some from my grandfather, and I hope to do the same thing one day. In fact, I hope beyond hope that the day never comes where that gold is truly valuable to me. It's more of just a keepsake and something to pass on.
But Peter, you're not betting your retirement on gold.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing we can do. If you want a little bit of it in your portfolio, certainly there are ways that we can invest so that we can get you that exposure without crashing your portfolio and without you having to worry about buying or selling physical objects. And we can get out of the market whenever the market goes south, and it gives us a lot more flexibility. That's the main thing, is we need to stay flexible. But if you're concerned that much about the market or about the economy, we've got more problems that we need to discuss. And so that's certainly a conversation that's much longer, but we shouldn't put a majority of our money into it. And if we're that concerned, like I said, we need to have a long talk with ourselves.
And remember, whatever happens to the dollars in your pocket, that happens to every dollar around the world when it comes to inflation and the purchasing power, right? So we would all be in that boat together, John, which if that day comes, that might be a dangerous boat to be in indeed.
Well, yeah. I mean, whoever's got the gold, I don't want, they better not be in my boat
Yeah.
because I'm going to be looking for some.
The pirates will be coming, right? Well, John, a great conversation today about gold. The hotly debated, widely advertised, often talked about, and investors are out there considering how to go about investing in gold, or should they even invest in gold? And I think your perspective on things always kind of brings us down to earth. So we appreciate the time. And are these kind of questions the questions that savers and investors come and ask you as they are formulating their financially focused written retirement plans?
Oh yeah, Peter, we get these questions all the time. I mean, it was like the people that wanted to buy the denarii there for a while. You know, everybody in the world wanted denarii, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I realized somebody was hyping it.
They were advertising it in magazines, right? You could get 80 million of it for a $20 bill at one point in time when Iraq had collapsed completely.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but yeah, we answer those kind of questions. We try to help them stay focused and allocated. And the income focused plan will help them develop an income for life. And that's what we're all about here.
And by the way, the Iraqi currency probably still not worth what that $20 bill would buy today. So, John, anyway, I always appreciate your time, your perspective, and the resource that you provide for North Central Florida proactive planners, savers, and investors to help them formulate the plan and answer questions such as this. And ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to take a dive into your portfolio, what you own, the risks that you're taking, the fees that you're paying, how to utilize your accounts, your balances, your dollars to create income and lasting financial confidence into and throughout retirement, that's what the plan is for. That's your best investment, getting the financially focused plan in place. Give John Kuykendall and Gulf Coast Financial Services a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, or visit online, gulfcoastfinancial.net, gulfcoastfinancial.net. John, always appreciate the time.
Thank you, Peter. It was great being here. I'm going to run out right now and get my gold.
Indeed.
Hey, if you'd like a copy of our new book, Quitting is for Winners, but Retirement's Not for Wimps, I encourage you to click the link below and get your copy today. Hey, we like it when you listen to the show, but we like it better when you like, share, subscribe, or feel free to leave a comment.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities Inc. or Kovac Advisors Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors, including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions.